So we are going to make a casket piece for an order. I'm going to wait just a second and see. Yeah, there we go. Are you seeing people pop on? So we are going to make an all red rose casket piece with evergreen foliage. We've got some robellini, some cypress, some hypericum berries, red roses, magnolia. We're going to make a beautiful casket piece. This is going to be for a lady's funeral, and I just wanted to make it with you. I needed to make it for an order. We are live on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. I've got Owen and Victoria here with me. They are able to read all of your comments, so ask me questions as we go along. I'm so happy to answer your questions. I am going to get started. This is a casket saddle. It is just a plastic saddle that we use, and I have 2 blocks of fresh floral foam placed in this saddle. Now I am going to tape them in place. The foam is soaked, so always remember that the foam is, you always soak your foam first, okay? It's so important to remind people about that. I'm going to take just some waterproof tape, and I am going to tape it under the bottom of that saddle, and I'm just wrapping it right around that foam to hold the foam in place.
Rhea says your hair looks lovely.
Thank you, Rhea. Thank you.
Mary Beth says, love the ornament you posted.
Oh, thank you. I went to Mama's house yesterday and got a haircut, and we were up in the attic pulling some things out. And I found that ornament that I made in kindergarten just 44 years ago, which is crazy. It's hard to believe I'm old enough.
Miss Dolores is saying hello on YouTube.
Hey, Miss Dolores. Welcome.
Snazzy Fox says good morning from New Zealand.
Hello.
On TikTok.
Hello, friend. Okay, I got it taped in place. I like to tape it in 4 places, and I'm just spilling water all over me. I tape it in 4 places so it's not going to go anywhere. So if they turn it or what have you, the arrangement is going to stay in place. So everything is taped in.
Fairy God Flores says morning from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Hello. I want you, friend. Glad you're here.
Miss Irene Bush says, hello, Flowers by the Bunch gang. I received my bows and I've put them in place. They are just perfect.
Oh, please share a picture, Miss Irene. We would love to see them. Okay, so this is robellini foliage. This is just a type of palm. I'm going to take it and I am going to begin to green out this arrangement. Now, I like to add my greenery first. Some florists don't add their greens first, but I like the greenery first. It's just easier. So I'm just going to go all the way around with this robellini.
Bice's Flower Shop followed us on TikTok.
Thank you for the follow.
And Miss Jane says hello as well.
Hey, Miss Jane. Welcome. So I'm just taking my floral knife and cutting that stem at an angle, and I'm just pressing it right down into that fresh floral foam.
Mary Beth says, I may private message you to see the back of it.
Okay, absolutely.
The Parlor says, I love watching your videos. Just opened my florist 2 months ago in
Wow.
North Carolina.
Congratulations, friend.
Miss Julie asks, won't the tape underneath keep it from being rounded to lay on the casket?
I just cut my finger. Let me go get a Band-Aid because I'm gonna bleed. Actually, we've never had any problems. Now they will. You're gonna grab me a Band-Aid. Thank you. They will add a slip proof on top of that casket. I do find that they are kind of slippery, but they always add a slip proof, which is one of those little blankets that they lay on top of the casket that helps to keep it from slipping and sliding. But we've never had any complaints from the funeral home, and so that's the most important thing. Sorry guys, I'm bleeding. Give me just a second. I love it when that happens. Why does it happen on a video every time? I never cut myself except on a video. I got my Band-Aid.
Rhea says, we've had a real day of it today. We've had wardrobes, kitchen shelving, and a sofa delivered, all in time for Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Miss Mary Lou asks if your mama cut your hair.
Mama cut my hair. She did. She got it really short this time. Really short. She said, I have to cut it short because you won't be still long enough to let me cut it when it needs a haircut. So I'm just going to cut it short so it'll be a while before you need another one.
Miss Sandra asks if you put flower food in your water.
Yes, we do. We add flower food to our water. So we have like a bucket, like a dish tub that we fill with water. And we drop that foam down into that little dish bucket and we add flower food to it, yes.
Fairy Godflower says, I have a lot happen on camera that shouldn't. It lets people know that we're regular humans.
And I always say, use your knife. Use your knife. You really need to use a knife. And then this is the second time in a couple weeks that I've cut my thumb using my knife.
Eliana's Floral Co. says, what blade do you recommend to cut stems? I use shears, but they're not too sharp sometimes.
Well, I never really use snips or shears. I have always used a knife. When I went to floral design school, they taught us to use a knife. And so for me personally, I find shears or snips to always be cumbersome. A knife I can keep in my hand and keep going. I don't have to cut, lay it down, cut, lay it down. And so that's why I prefer a knife. As long as they're good and sharp, you should be good. But practice with a knife and don't be scared. Yes, you're going to cut your finger. You're going to need Band-Aids. But it really, you'll find if you ever get to using a knife, you'll never go back to snips. Every other designer in my flower shop uses snips. I'm the only one that uses a knife. But I can't work without a knife. So this is some evergreens. We actually ordered all of these flowers and greens came from Budsy, which is just a floral company that we order our flowers from. It is direct from the grower, Budsy is, and we have loved their company. Guys, if y'all can hear me well, please give me a heart or a thumbs up. I just want to make sure you can hear me. We've had a few times where people are having a hard time hearing us.
What floral design school did you go to?
I went to Mississippi State University. It's a four-year college. It's actually here in our town. And they have a floral management program. So I got a bachelor's degree in, back then it was called Retail Floristry Management. But it is a degree in, it's a agriculture degree. It is in floral design. We did a lot of business. We did a lot of, we went through a lot of horticulture, learned a lot of plants.
Hope you're getting lots of thumbs up.
Good, good, good. So they're able to hear us pretty good. No problems.
Miss Margaret Lynch says hello, and she says thanks for the prayers.
Of course, Miss Margaret. Thank you for letting me know about Miss Joan. We're continuing to pray.
Gray says, do y'all have a dollar store near where you work and live? You might get a surprise in the mail soon.
We do, Gray. We have a Dollar General right down the street, and we have a Dollar Tree right around the corner. So absolutely. In Mississippi, we have a dollar store on every corner, just about, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just taking my evergreens, and I did have to cut those with a snip. Oh, and I'm going to have another Band-Aid.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't hurt. It's not hurting.
I wonder if all the...
It's probably because I'm grabbing things and holding it. It's right there on that fatty part of that thumb.
Miss Mary Beth says, today is my son's 37th birthday.
Aww.
Time flies.
Happy birthday to your boy, Miss Mary Beth. Yeah, it's just... I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry this is taking a second.
Oh, Miss Donna says she recommends cleaning it.
I will. I promise I will I'll soap it and all the things as soon as I'm finished. Victoria, see how it's stuck on itself?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm probably just made it worse.
It doesn't matter, just do this. Yeah, I promise I'll wash it good. I won't let it. Okay. All right, I have got, nope, I still have some more. Hey, Owen, one more, bub.
Rhea says, Eric has just brought a mouse in and Mark is trying to catch it amongst the delivery boxes. I do not get involved.
Oh my goodness, Eric. I love Eric's name. Eric. I love it. It's kind of like my Norman.
Miss Donna says, I have bandages on my thumb too.
Do you, Miss Donna? It's that time of the year, though, isn't it? It's one of those, it's that time of the year where our hands really get a lot of beaten up, don't they? Up here at the top. Thanks. I should be well bandaged now. Let's see if that'll hold it. Okay. Just about finished here.
Miss Gina says hi from Arab, Alabama.
Hello, friend. Hello, hello.
And Alan followed us on TikTok. Thank you, Alan.
Thanks, Alan. So glad you're here. Okay, got us some evergreens in there. Let's come in with some pine. So these are pine. This is short needled pine, just some pretty pine. I ordered a box called the Holiday Sampler from Budsy, and they had lots of pretty just mixed greens. And so I like that. I like it when it comes with the mixture because it's nice to have all those different textures in that box.
Kyle Dunbar says he loves your hair.
Well, thanks, Kyle. Thank you, thank you.
A few people have recommended wearing gloves when dealing with greenery.
I really probably should, but I have a hard time. I have a hard time just strictly because it's awkward with my hands, and I really probably should wear gloves. But it's just hard to maneuver the knife and all the things.
Miss Mary Beth says it just shows you're human. It's just real life.
That's right. I have had a few little fiascos on the Facebook page, hadn't I? With the cat and the lizard and all the things we've had go on. The pumpkin. Remember the time that the knife broke off in the pumpkin? They love to remind me of that one.
Miss Dawn Miller says Boo is all healed up and doesn't go out anymore.
Oh, wow. I'm so glad he's feeling better. Bless his heart. But he has decided he's an inside cat now.
Miss Mary Lou asks, how is Santa for a Senior going?
It is going well. I have not done the count as of with Venmo today, but we were at 186 this morning. Was that right?
Oh,
so I have to go back and do another count. But I'll post tomorrow and let you know where we are with Santa for a Senior. It's really going well. Yes, please. Today is her birthday. Okay, next we're going to come in with some magnolia branches. Somebody asked the other day, or yesterday, do we use a lot of magnolia during this time of the year? We've used a lot more magnolia than we have in the past, and it's because I have it available. This is really pretty magnolia. We ordered it also. Now, often you will find that I will go out and cut magnolia, but I have I bought this from Budsy, and I've been very pleased with how pretty it is, and it just saved me a step. But I will a lot of times go out and harvest it.
Gina asked, do you have any tips for someone who designs with artificial flowers?
Honestly, designing with artificial flowers is really going to be the exact same technique as designing with fresh flowers, designing with a different medium. It's really the same exact technique that you see me do every day with fresh flowers. You're going to do the same designs, all the things. They're just artificial versus fresh.
John Miller says, I hear Mr. Todd, it must be time to go home.
It's time to go home. He and Jason are fixing to head home.
Flowers by Lisa says, good afternoon. Made a half casket piece today with Christmas greens, red roses, white carnations, and candy cane mini carnations and star
That
users.
sounds beautiful.
Miss Doris says, great haircut, Monty. Did you have red hair when you were little? Beautiful.
It was really light brown. That's a 44-year-old picture, and that's exactly what Victoria said. Were you redheaded? And so it was really light brown. But that face I was doing was so funny. I can even remember seeing pictures of that dress. It's a little dress. It was a yellow dress, my favorite color, and it had a little smock over it that had tic-tac-toe. It was so funny. And I just couldn't believe that picture has stayed intact for 44 years.
On YouTube, Trish says those branches are thick for the greenery.
They are pretty thick. Yes, they are pretty thick.
Miss Rhea says Mark has rescued the mouse and released it. Eric has just brought it back in. It's like a comedy show.
Oh my word! You need to film it. Eric's like, you are not getting rid of my mouse.
Miss Carol.
So Eric's a cat, guys. Just in case y'all were wondering, Eric is not her son; it's her cat.
Miss Carolyn McKenzie says, I'm catching you live, relaxing at the beach in Panama City.
Wow!
She says, got my wreath and my baby Jesus. I love it.
Oh, I'm so glad. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of eucalyptus. This is silver dollar eucalyptus. You're going to always know silver dollar. Some of them are kind of hard to tell apart. Silver dollar's always easy. It's real round leaves. Now, I asked her if it was okay if I added eucalyptus. She said absolutely, just not too fragrant. And silver dollar is not terribly fragrant. Unless you crush the leaves, and then you'll really smell the eucalyptus smell. But it's not like spiral eucalyptus where you walk by it and smell it. So I'm going to add a little bit of this.
Miss Nell asks, do you make the back side of your casket spray the same as the front?
Not quite the same. I do make it green all the way around, and I do add flowers on the back side, but not quite as many as I do on the front.
Wedding Lady says, hi from Virginia. Just finished 12 arrangements for a tree lighting ceremony.
Oh, wow. I bet that's going to be beautiful.
Jane says her granddaughter confiscated her little Jesus.
Oh, I thought y'all might enjoy those little Jesuses.
Nell says thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mary Beth says, I love that angel ornament. I'm going to try to make a couple for my grands.
Oh, they're really fun. And that thing held up, didn't it? And you know that teacher did all that work. I teach 5-year-olds in Sunday school. And, you know, you do a whole lot of work for your 5-year-olds. Because that was a mighty good-looking angel for a 5-year-old. I'm sure I was not that artistic at 5.
Miss Linda Jester says, a beautiful outside jungle picture. I love it. I missed what this is for.
This is a casket piece, and it's going to have, oh goodness, it's going to have red roses. Oh, gotta get that puppy dog. We're going to do red roses and hypericum berries, red hypericum berries.
Earlier, Miss Amy Smith says, so excited to catch you live. I always love your work. I'm trying to get more comfortable using a knife.
And you will, Amy, just practice. It takes a lot of practice, and you're going to cut your thumb. And just put on Band-Aids and keep going. But I promise, if you ever get the hang of it, you'll never go back to snips. I just find that snips are just cumbersome. It just takes more work to use snips than it does a knife. Okay, so I have my greenery in place. I used Robellini, and I don't love this one stem, so I'm pulling him out because he's got some dark spots, so I'm going to put him on the floor. Robellini, which is my palm. I used some cypress. I used some pine needles. I used magnolia and a little bit of eucalyptus. I'm going to put a piece of eucalyptus in that place. Okay, I have 75 red roses. We have already wired our red roses. So I'm just going to take them one at a time. Make sure, go ahead and remove any petals that don't look pretty. And I am just going to begin to add red roses all the way through
Tim followed
this
us.
spray. Thank you for the follow, friend. Thank you, thank
Wedding
you.
lady says she still can't get the hang of it. Not totally sure what she's referring to.
Probably the knife. We've been talking about using a knife.
Snazzy Sock says, looks amazing, Monty. And Jane says, oh my goodness, 75 roses.
75 red roses all the way through. I'll tell you though, I like it when you get to design with just a single flower because it doesn't take nearly as much thought process as designing with a lot of different types.
On YouTube, Miss Charlene says, hi, I am making 3 artificial Christmas store wreaths for my 3 adult children. I'm using grapevine bases, but yikes, I have been burned by hot glue.
Oh, bless your heart. So let me tell you the trick. Get a glue pan versus a glue gun, and you will never use a glue gun again. A glue pan is like a small skillet. Todd, honey, that's enough. It's a small skillet that you just melt your glue in, and you can dip those stems right down into that glue pan and then tuck them right into that wreath. And you will find how it is so much easier. A lot less work.
Trish says
Doesn't blister as bad either.
our children's church is going to make birdseed ornaments with peanut butter and cookie cutter cutouts of paper.
That sounds like so much fun. I might have to look into that for my Sunday school class. They would enjoy that.
Oh, Miss Judy Roeder. She says, hello from Indiana. She says, I wish you were closer so you could do my husband's memorial flowers for this Saturday.
Sweet Miss Judy, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry. I know that's got to be so hard.
Miss Sue Bryant says she missed the beginning. What greenery did you use?
Miss Sue, I used Robolini palm, which is just the palm branches down at the bottom. I used a cypress. I used pine. I used magnolia, and I used a silver dollar eucalyptus.
Charlene says...
Oh, I read those.
Oh, on YouTube? Oh, okay, never mind.
Sorry. A few people are wanting to know how much this costs.
$500.
Miss Jane says she loves your designs, and today is her 75th wedding anniversary.
Well, happy anniversary to you. 75 years. That's absolutely amazing. That's amazing.
Miss Brenda wants to know if you wired the roses.
We did. We wired them ahead of time because that's a lot of work. And I didn't want you to have to sit through watching me wire these roses.
Miss Amy Smith asks, what is your favorite red rose variety? Also, I use Freedoms for everyday work, but was wondering which lasts the longest.
I prefer a red heart rose, and so I have a standing order for red heart roses, where I get 100 every other week of red hearts. We're using a lot of red roses at Christmas, and so I ordered this week 250 Freedoms. And it's just strictly because they couldn't provide me 250 red hearts. I like the color of a Freedom. I like the variety of a heart. It's just so big, it's so showy, it opens like a garden rose, and it's just really pretty.
Miss Judy Roeder says, thank you, Monty. We were married 54 years ago.
Wow.
Miss Joanne Hines says, always keep a little cup or jar of water next to you when working with hot glue. Dip your finger in immediately and it will help stop the burn.
Well, what a wonderful tip. Thank you, thank you. I tell you, glue, the pan doesn't get as hot as, it can. But often it won't get as hot as the gun. And so if you will heat your glue to about the consistency of honey, you will find it doesn't drip like the gun does. Like that hot glue gun will drip and get on you, and it'll blister so badly.
Did you read Trish Peterson's? Charlene says, I agree about the glue pan. Thank you. My husband is looking for one on Amazon as a Christmas gift.
Yes, and they're not terribly expensive. They're not bad. You can find them also, I think, at the hobby store at Hobby Lobby. But I love my glue pan. So all I'm doing here is I'm removing some of the leaves that are on these stems. If there's any thorns, I go ahead and cut those off. I am just trying to put the roses all the way around in this arrangement.
Flowers by Lisa asks if that is a full or half casket.
It's a half casket. It will be open. I very seldom make full caskets. Nobody ever really here very often asks for a full casket.
Miss Margaret Lynch says she just got home from a funeral home. Her friend's son lost his life due to suicide.
Oh, Miss Margaret, I'm so sorry. Oh.
Miss Pat says, I wish you were closer. We just paid $600 for one. It was only flowers, no roses involved.
Wow. Where are you located? It's interesting though at the different prices in the different places.
Miss Mary Beth says, I love the Pink Floyds. They are so vibrant and remind me of summer.
They are so beautiful. They are. I agree. A Pink Floyd is probably one of the prettier hot pinks.
Miss Linda says Walmart has a 7-inch skillet for $14 right now.
Ooh, that's a good price. Very, very good price. And you can change some of the skillets. You'll find that you can't change the temperature on. But you can certainly change the temperature on that small skillet at Walmart. And $14, that's really good.
Miss Trish and Miss Dolores both think it's looking very pretty.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Schnazzy Sock says, I have yet to purchase a glue gun for my floristry kit. I have a glue pen that she finds really good.
A glue pan?
Probably glue pan, yeah.
Yeah.
A type of.
Yeah, I don't have a glue gun here. I don't want to use a glue gun. I don't like them.
Kyle says he's having a sad day today.
I'm sorry you're having a sad day, my friend. I'm sorry.
Miss Joan Arthur asks if a full casket spray is for a closed coffin.
Correct.
Sandra asks if you make a full casket, do you use 2 casket saddles?
Usually you would just elongate it. So I would make it on the same saddle that I have here. I would just make it much longer. I would just come a lot further out with my flowers. Just leave the stems on my flowers longer.
Miss Mary Beth says my steamer is coming in on Friday.
Awesome. You'll love it, Mary Beth. You will love it.
Donna says if you are a commercial florist and buy in boxes and bulk, prices are lower, I find.
Absolutely, yes. And I do. So we buy direct from a grower. We buy from a company called Budsy. So I buy everything in bulk. When I buy roses, the least I buy in roses is 100 stems. And hydrangeas, we buy 36 stems. Daisies, we usually buy 8 bundles at a time, depending on the case count. So we buy flowers by the case. Therefore, I can get them for a really pretty good price. And I always pass that price on to my customer. Are we dark?
Katie L. Young says, I think working with a single flower type is more difficult.
You do? Really? Oh, I don't. Now, I would say this would not be my preference arrangement, meaning I don't know that I would order an all single type of flower. We do a lot more all red roses at the holiday season. This is our second all red rose casket cover this week. We do not do a whole lot of all the same flower. I find they're beautiful, but I don't know that that would be my preference if I were to choose. But I don't think they're harder. But I don't really think a mixed arrangement's hard either. Now, when I think something's hard is when I have to mirror 2 arrangements. Like if I'm doing double sprays and they need to match, that's hard to me. That's my least favorite. Callie always does the matching standing sprays if we're going to match them.
Mary Beth says this is the prettiest arrangement I've ever seen. It's stunning.
Oh, thank you. I think red roses really are beautiful, especially for this season.
Stacy Jane says, I do lots of grapevine wreaths, no glue gun, too many burns, love my glue pot.
I agree, friend. I so agree.
Miss Janice Back-Sloan says, great to be catching you live today. You'll be getting a little happy that's just for you tomorrow. Enjoy. I love you and yours.
You are too sweet, Miss Janice. You are too sweet. I don't know if you noticed, I wore my earrings yesterday. I have worn both my holiday earrings. I love them.
Michelle asks, how long do you soak the foam for?
This foam was probably soaked about an hour, but it doesn't have to soak that long. Usually I just drop it in. I drop a couple blocks in the morning because it can stay in the water and be fine for a long period of time. You can put it in for 15 or so minutes and it'll fully soak.
Alma says she loves red roses.
Aren't they lovely?
And Trish says you and Victoria need to learn how to make beaded bracelets out of the dried rose petals.
Ooh.
Oh.
Now that might be a Victoria. I'm not quite as good at all of the tedious little tiny work. I do better if it's bigger.
Miss Susan says, hello, Monty, Victoria, and Owen. How is your day going? Hope that your mom is doing well.
She is doing wonderful. She went to lunch today with the Sunday school lady. She's had a great day. Thank you for asking. She's really doing well.
Stacy Jane. Stacy Jane says, I read hers already. I forgot. Mary Beth says the spacing is on point. Your arranging skills are excellent.
Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you. Lots of practice. Lots of years.
Miss Carolyn says I added red roses and Christmas bows to my mailbox cover and used a glue gun and ouch, ouch, ouch.
It does. It burns so bad, and it'll leave like a blister, a literal blister on your hand.
Wham asks if we've done any holiday centerpieces.
We've done a few centerpieces. We've done more bows than we do anything else, but we do that most. I would say, I think that we have sold more than 15 rolls of red velvet ribbon by tying bows. It's crazy at how many bows we tie. We've done lots of mailbox covers this season. What else have we done a lot of? We've done a lot of wreaths. We've actually shipped out a lot of wreaths this season, which has been magnificent. Thank you, Miss Christy, for your order. If you're watching, we actually mailed one of our bead grass wreaths out today. But we've not a ton of centerpieces so far. We've done a few silk and a few fresh.
Rhea has recorded, and she's done it before. I apologize if we haven't gotten to it. But she wanted to see a flower arrangement with a nativity scene.
Okay.
Somehow.
Okay. I have a really pretty one that I'll pull out, and I'll do that. Yes, thank you, Rhea, for the suggestion. I'll work on that.
She also says she got all her dollhouse pieces to make her Christmas lantern. She says it's a little Christmas scene with an armchair and a Christmas tree with LED lights.
Ooh, is it pretty? You need to share a picture.
She says, I bought a beautiful lantern, but I never look at the size, and it is way too small. Mark is making me one with his 3D printer. He is very useful.
He is very useful. That Mark. He's very useful. This one was a little short, so I pulled it out.
Ladine asks, how many roses?
75.
Miss Stacy says, when I worked in a shop doing lots of fresh flowers, I enjoyed doing casket sprays. Kind of the last nice thing you could do for someone.
Absolutely. It is the last thing that you can do for somebody, and it's such a celebration, right? I mean, we are able to celebrate the life that they lived here. Just about finished with our red roses.
Jamie says it's a beautiful casket cover.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
There's going to be 75 roses in this arrangement.
75 Freedom Roses.
Miss Barbara Neal says, last week my garden club went to an assisted living center, and our members did a demonstration where we put foam already in teacups. Tied them in with tape, and then the elderly men and women were able to make a flower arrangement.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I bet they had a wonderful time.
She said the garden club provided all the flowers and greenery, and it was very fun.
Oh, it sounds like so much fun.
Lindsay wants to know, how much will this casket be when it's completed?
How much? 500.
Miss Ruby, it's $500.
Sorry if I didn't say that loud enough.
No,
I apologize.
She just asked right after you said it.
Oh, thank you. Sorry about that. I was like, maybe I didn't say it loud enough.
Shelby at Prim and Prep Florals and Crafts. She says, half for full couch, Monty?
It's a half.
Rhea wants to know if the roses have a scent to them.
Not really, Rhea. They've been in the cooler, and they're not heavily scented anyway. They're not really. I just had to smell it to see.
Elaine Wallace asks, was the person 75 years old, or why 75 if not?
Well, they just chose a size. And this would be considered just a larger size, and so it's just going by the price. We didn't go really with a number necessarily. It's just the number of roses that made up that price range, if that makes sense.
Chris Fry says this is stunning.
Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you, thank you.
Angie says, beautiful spray. Hello to all. Watched you well in Nashville last week. Can't miss Flowers by Night.
Oh, we're so thankful you're here. All right, one more. Is there any place you see that needs a rose? We're going to add the berries. Looks like right there.
Miss Kathy Dickerson says, hello. She says, my husband's Aunt Louise loved red roses. Everybody knew it, and the community bought out both of the florists in their small town.
Aww.
She was 99 years old.
99. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, we're going to put some Hypericum berries. So Hypericum come in lots of colors, white and green and kind of a creamy color, a pink, a peach, red, burgundy, all the colors. They paint one too. So if you ever needed a color and you wanted to pop them with paint, you absolutely can. I'm going to use red. They're also called coffee berry. Now, sometimes you will find that the greenery on the berries isn't always the prettiest. Pull that greenery off if it's not pretty. This is actually pretty, so I'm leaving it on. But it easily comes off and the berries are still pretty. They last a good long time. The greenery, not always, so peel that back and just use the berries.
Miss Pat says that is a great price. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Stacy says this is so beautiful for the price. What price point do your sprays start at?
Our casket sprays start at $300 and go up from there. Now, I say they start at $300. If a family came in and they have $100, I will make something as pretty as I possibly can for their price range. So I'm not one that says, nope, can't do it if you don't have a certain price, because I like for everybody to be able to have the opportunity to put flowers on a loved one's But often our casket covers, if you came in and asked what they start at, it's $3.
Schnazzy Sock says it's really beautiful.
Thank you, friend. Thank you, thank you.
Miss Susan says today would have been my mom's 87th birthday, but she passed away on the 1st of January in 2018.
Aww. Happy heavenly birthday.
Jerry asks, is there a rose variety that does have a good fragrance?
There's lots of other colors. Now, I haven't really found a red rose that I think smells just magnificent. There are some lavender roses that are really, they really smell beautiful. Gosh, can you think of some rose varieties, Victoria? I can't really think of a. Moody Blue, I think, is a lavender color.
Yeah, there's a lavender that
smells magnificent. Yeah. The next time we get some in, though, I'll try to remember the variety. But yes, there are varieties that do have a beautiful fragrance, but most of them have not been bred to necessarily have a beautiful fragrance. It's more for just the flower itself.
On YouTube, Oma says, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. Blessings.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here.
And Miss Donna says, coffee berries, when used for medicinal purposes, are known as St. John's worts.
Yes, thank you, Donna. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love that we learn from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get that one down in there. It broke.
They're saying it's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Guys, if you are enjoying this video, please give us a thumbs up or a heart. And if you have any suggestions for videos you might want to see, we love suggestions. Because we do a lot of videos, and I run out of ideas. This one seems to be sticking out a little bit.
Steve says, very nice, Monty. The magnolia leaves add to the casket piece.
Oh, thank you.
Miss Linda asks if they asked for berries.
They did ask for berries. Pretty red berries, they did. Now, I would have loved to use maybe a pretty holly. I have not got any holly that has really pretty red berries. We've got just the pretty foliage, but we don't have the berries. And y'all, holly bites so bad. So I don't use it really often in floral design because it just bites.
Deanna's dad just passed away. She's on TikTok.
Oh, Deanna, I'm so sorry for your loss, friend. We will certainly keep you in our prayers.
Jamie Everett says it's nice of you to help people who might be struggling financially. Talking about the
Yes, absolutely. I just never want, in our flower shop, and I don't know how other flower shops think, but in my flower shop, I never want you to, if you need flowers, I never want you to walk out without flowers. And so I like to have a price point for anyone who wants to take home a flower. So we're not a flower shop that has a strict, you have to spend this amount of money to have flowers.
Deanna said too about her dad that he passed unexpectedly, and she doesn't even know what to do or how to plan.
Oh, I'm so sorry, friend. I'm so sorry.
Carol says, since I'm allergic to roses, they all seem to have a scent that I can detect.
Isn't that interesting? Okay, I think I wanted to put, do you think a little bit of this, would that add to it? Tell me again the name of this.
Rumex.
Rumex. Okay, so this Rumex is a, it's a seed, or it's a variety of dock. And we got this in from Budsy. I've never had it before. It almost looks a little bit like a grass seed. I'm going to take it and cut it into smaller pieces, and I'm going to nestle it down in there. I think that the color would be lovely. Kind of give us a little bit of a pop of that limey green color.
Oh yeah, they were very excited for you to put that in it.
Do you like that pretty color? Isn't that a beautiful, and it's almost a little bit of a filler flower look.
Jerry says you were so open with your knowledge. That's why I watch.
Aw, thank you, thank you.
Miss Dawn says I would like to see a wreath or arrangement with Christmas bells.
With Christmas bells, I'll see if I can find some of those.
Stacy says, so wonderful that you work any price point. That would win my business just knowing that you try to serve everyone.
Well, I just think flowers should be for everybody. I think everybody deserves pretty flowers.
Miss Julie asks, could you incorporate a nativity scene in an arrangement?
Yes, actually, we just had Miss Rhea ask for the same thing. I will do that soon. I absolutely will. Now, the reason I'm using snips this time, I'll show you really quickly because I don't think I did a very good job of showing you what I was doing. I'm taking this Rumex and I'm cutting it in half. So it comes in a pretty long stem. Pretty long stem, right? And if I stuck it in there just like that, it's just really long. So I'm taking, and the reason I'm using snips instead of my floral knife is if I went in there with a floral knife and I pulled, I might pull off some of the stems of the Rumex, okay? So I'm just taking it and cutting it in half. So then I have two different insertions.
Miss Janice says that her niece in Hart had a surprise 50th birthday given by her nephew. She says the centerpieces were pink roses, and she was so allergic to them, she says she coughed her head off and she had to leave the party.
Goodness, bless your heart. Isn't that interesting?
Miss Angie, my uncle's allergic
To roses?
too.
Really?
Because I brought him for my cousin's beauty review, and I unfortunately sat next to him, and I had all that bouquet of roses, and he was struggling. And I felt terrible.
Gosh,
But
I
yeah.
guess I've never even known that you could be so allergic to roses. That's interesting. I'm thankful I'm not. I think I might be somewhat allergic to Christmas greens because I have allergies. The worst this time of year. Like, we don't have a fresh Christmas tree at my house, but they cause me to sneeze. But it's not something that I can't live with. I can live with it. Oh, I think the Rumex really makes it. I think that's such a pretty added color.
Several florists in our comments are saying that they do the same. They try to help everyone with whatever budget.
Isn't that wonderful, though, guys? I just like flowers, and I think it's important that you help where you can. Now, of course, I'm going to make it as beautiful as I possibly can in your budget. I mean, you're not going to get a $500 casket piece for $100, right? But you're going to get flowers.
They're loving the Rumex.
Isn't it pretty? I'm so glad that I pulled that out of the cooler.
Don Miller wants to know if you can make an arrangement for New Year's.
Yes, Miss Dawn, we can. It's hard to believe. A new year will be here in a few weeks. Isn't it crazy?
Ooh, it feels weird.
It feels weird, huh, Victoria?
Yeah.
All right, we're just about finished. So this casket includes, we used palm, I used not cedar, cypress, I used pine, I used Rumex as this type of filler. We used hypericum berries, a little bit of eucalyptus, which is a silver dollar eucalyptus, and then red roses, 75 red roses.
On YouTube, Trish says, we used lavender or bluebird for my aunt's casket spray.
Oh, it's so beautiful. You know, I have never been a purple girl, but lavender to me is such a pretty, and I like purple as an accent, but lavender is so beautiful. Such a lady color.
Trish also says that the Rumex really lightens up the arrangement.
It does. It kind of gives it a little bit of an added light in it.
Miss Angie wants to know, how is your sweet mama doing?
Mama's doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. She's doing great. She will go back sometime this month for a scan to see how things are going. She said she doesn't want to know the results until the first of the year. She's going to have a good before she knows the results. Now, the type of cancer that my mama has is a very aggressive cancer, and it is very likely that she could be out of remission and she could have to start her treatments again. She's so positive. She's very positive, and she's very okay. If we have to do treatments, we'll do treatments, but she's had a wonderful remission period at this time. My niece, my brother's child, has a baby. He's 18 months old. His name is Lincoln. He has been the light of her life, and so it has been a wonderful season of holidays and spending time with that sweet baby and remission, and she's really feeling good. She's got her strength up, she's getting hair, and so she's doing great. Thank you for asking. Thank you. Are there any more questions?
San Diego says, AB San Diego says, so lovely, she misses your fun bouquets.
Oh, thank you, thank you. We will be right back at Fun Bouquets tomorrow, so come back tomorrow. So we do videos every single day over on Facebook. So if you are on any of the other platforms, TikTok or YouTube, check us out over on Facebook, because we do live videos every single afternoon on Facebook. I try to do them more on TikTok. It's just tough. It's tough if I don't have enough people to help me read all of the comments, because I certainly can't read and design at the same time. But guys, thank you for being here. If you are enjoying these types of videos, if you enjoy them, share them with your friends or give us a thumbs up or a heart. Anytime you see us on any of the platforms, goodness, Owen. Owen bumped the table. Sorry, guys. Anytime you see us on any of the platforms and you're watching a video, please comment. The more you comment, the more we are seen and the more videos we get to do. Are there any more questions, Miss Victoria?
Jerry just wants to know if you'll add ribbon.
I am not going to add ribbon to this piece. They didn't ask for ribbon, so I will not be adding ribbon to this piece. Now, a lot of times, if you ever see me add ribbon, it's because the customer asked for ribbon. But I just thought this was beautiful and perfect without the ribbon. But thank you. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Come back to see us in the morning over on Facebook. We do a devotion every morning for the month of December for Advent. So if you would like to join us over on Facebook at 8 o'clock in the morning, you certainly can. And if you're not a morning person, we always have replay, so y'all can always replay that video. I hope y'all have a great evening, and we will be back soon. Thanks, guys.